Hi, today let's talk about Boss AD-10 Acoustic Preamp. I want to demo some of the effects for you. I know this is done in lots of videos on YouTube, but some of them go so quickly. I wanted to slow down the pace a little bit and give you a chance to hear the different effects. So far, I've covered the looper. Last week I covered compression. You'll want to check those out when you have time. And today I want to demo some of the other effects. So to begin with, let's turn on the unit. You see the lights blinking. That's like a test for the whole unit. So right now, as we start out, none of the lights are lit. We're going to start with our EQ at the top of the unit up here, where we can set these things: bass, mid, and treble, presence as well. What this can add to the richness of the tone. But the first thing I'd like to point out to you that is easy to forget is the last knob called level. It has an on and off switch. If you want your EQ to work and to influence your sound, you have to turn that on. It's easy when you're busy to forget and leave it off, but you want to make sure that's turned on. Let's start with EQ. This is the EQ turned off. Sounds like this. This is what the EQ sounds like turned off. Okay, now we'll turn on the EQ. Sounds like this. You'll notice I turned the treble down a little bit. Here's what it sounds like at halfway up. A little brighter. That was on. Here's off again. On, and this time I'm going to bump the presence up a little bit. That's EQ. Hi, thanks for watching today. I wanted to make you aware of a free offer I have. I just finished a new mini course called Live Musician's Toolkit. What you're going to learn in this course is some pro techniques to help you elevate your overall performance. Number 2, how to come up with that seamless set list that just makes your songs flow. And the last thing we want to touch on is improving our stage presence. This is where you can learn to relax, have fun, and better engage with your audience. So that's the Live Musicians Toolkit. It's free, not forever, but for now. If this is anything that sounds slightly interesting to you, why not click that link at the top of the screen or the one in the video description. Next, let's talk about the anti-feedback. So this is a reduction control, and you have notches, and the reason for these notches, you turn it on, blinks, and over here you see a note name, E5. So we can block that note if it's causing feedback. And we have another one as well, notch 2. We might have identified another note where feedback is present. This one says F3, and they adjust right here. So this basically, now we have E2 and F3, E5 and F3 blocked. And this would be noticed if you are playing your acoustic guitar open sound hole next to an amplifier with a speaker. You'd hear a squeal or a low rumble, kind of destroys whatever other sound you wanted to hear. And so this is the switch to control that, and pressing this will turn it off. Okay, that will go off, and the same with this, it blinks and then it turns off. And those are the basics for how the anti-feedback reduction works. Okay, let's cover acoustic resonance. It used to be that acoustic guitars were acoustic. They did not have pickups in them. They had a distinct sound. One of the problems, however, and this device certainly alludes to that, as a microphone and an open hole in a guitar is prone to feedback, especially if you want to turn up the volume. So acoustic guitars began to become available with pickups installed. Now these pickups, many of them are piezo pickups. They do a great job of taking care of string sound, and they give you a nice bright effect. Many problems, certainly the feedback problem, was solved by having a piezo pickup. However, live performers over time began to lose that natural resonance of the rest of the body of the guitar. Piezo pickup would handle one part, but it wouldn't really address the body of the guitar, the rest of the wood, the sound hole idea, all that natural reverberation. Those pickups were limited in how well they could do that. Hence, the creation, invention of, and availability of acoustic preamps. So one of the goals of an acoustic preamp is to return that true acoustic guitar sound, different than just the string sound of the pickup. And that's what this acoustic resonance setting does on this guitar, on this particular device, the Boss AD-10. So for acoustic resonance, the nice thing about this particular device is there are 3 settings. Right now you'll notice I'm pointing at, it's turned off. We turn it on. The green is the first level, or the first effect, and it's natural. Well, let's hear what that sounds like. So there's the natural. We could adjust that by turning it up. Okay, let's compare that to turning it off. Okay, now it's off. Okay, we're back on natural. So there's an uncluttered, natural sound for the guitar. Next, we have a wide sound, a wide setting. Wide is a mellow sound. Very resonant. And lastly, we have what's called a bright sound. You'll hear this right away. Really turns up the brightness. So again, the idea of acoustic resonance is really why we're interested in what an acoustic preamp does in the first place. And the Boss AD-10, this is really the gold setting, if you ask me. All right, let's talk about delay and chorus. So with delay is like an echo, that's what delay is. And you've got some settings here that you can change. You can change the time, and this E level is essentially the volume of the delay. So you have three choices, three levels. This first one is called normal. This is what it sounds like. So you hear that echo. That's because I got the time turned up pretty high. That's the bright setting. The next one is called mild. Setting, give you a sound on that one. That's called bright, and as you hear, it's a little brighter sound. That delay, the echo. All right, and then you can change that time with the dial, so slowing it down. They're a little closer together that way. You lessen the time between the echoes. That's delay, and next we'll look at chorus. Chorus, we also have three levels. That's normal. white sound. Alright, we have one more knob here I'm going to talk about to end up here. It's called Ambience. We turn it on, and you could think of it as reverb. So that's it for our demo of the various knobs and how they work. One thing I'll provide in the description is a link to last week when I talked about compression, and a couple weeks ago when I talked about the looper. And with all these videos, you'll have a fair basic introduction into how everything works on the Boss AD-10 acoustic preamp.